Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale JazzInc vehicle review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Robert Pattinson's Batmobile based off its appearance in the 2022 film The Batman. I love that movie, and oh boy, I love that car. By the way, that intro, every single shot in said intro was of the actual JazzInc Batmobile, and the sound effects, they were from the car as well. More on that a little bit later. If you are looking to grab this, I have popped the link to JazzInc's website in the description below. It's 100% officially licensed by Warner Bros. And DC. It also comes in two different versions, clean and weathered. I opted for the latter. I just prefer a little bit more surface detail, more visual interest, therefore going with the weathered version, having some dirt and grime here and there, never a bad thing. Having the clean one as an option, also never a bad thing. If you want your Batmobile to be brand new, pristine, factory fresh looking, then go for the clean one. While you are down in the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new JazzInc 1/6 scale vehicle review goes live on the channel. So we may as well start out on the outside, then we'll get into the lights and sounds, then we'll get into the opening door, and we'll start to discuss the intricate details. This thing is monstrous. It's very big, it's quite wide, it's nice and chonky, and the proportions, they're spot on. That's one thing that JazzInc absolutely nails. And if they don't nail it the first time, they look at community feedback. They also have full access to the Warner Bros. Archive, specs, blueprints, drawings, and sometimes they even reach out to the production teams who made the real-life vehicles for the films themselves. Their goal is quite clearly to get these as accurate as possible, shrunk down to 1/6 scale. It's super well engineered, it's sturdy, it feels weighty, but it's not too heavy. It's surprisingly lightweight, and I mean that in the best way possible. To light this bad boy up, you plug in the included adapter, there's a cable underneath the car. All of the functions are controlled with this remote. Button 1 turns on power to the vehicle. When the interior lights are on, you know it's worked. Button 2 turns everything off again. Button 3, you do have to do something to get prepared for button 3. Remove this panel around the back. This, by the way, is the coolest thing I have ever seen in any 1/6 scale vehicle. Use the included pipette to drop some water into the canister. Close it up, the hatch is magnetic, and oh yes, there are LEDs, and this bad boy has a smoke generator. Now technically it's not smoke, it's just water vapor because all you're doing is putting water in there, but that's freaking insane. I know, other companies have done stuff like this before, but I've never seen it in 1/6 scale. Button 4 turns on the lights around the front of the hood. They flash blue and they pulse on and off. Button 5 turns on the amber-colored headlights. There are two. Also the strip of lights around the front, and the tail lights and the brake light. Button 6... So, yeah, button 6, well, that's the sound function button. 7 through 10 currently don't do anything, but the instructions do make mention of the fact that they can add functions later, so we'll have to wait and see. You can open up the driver's side door, and the interior is pretty spacious. I was able to fit my custom Batman inside the cockpit, and you saw that earlier on. You can rotate the steering wheel, there are 3 pedals, Batman can drive stick it would seem, and all the little dials, the speedometer, the tachometer, the various other ometers, and the screen where it says Bruce is calling Alfred, all of that stuff lights up, and it's fully detailed. Now the door around the other side doesn't open, but that's fine, there's no seat there, it's just the little compartment that the nitrous canisters are stored in. I think that's nitrous, I don't know, it's some kind of boosting agent, I would suppose. It's all painted in shiny metallic silver, there are washers in the crevices, and there are some decals on the back panel, the back wall, where it separates the engine from the cockpit. They all have little prints on the surface that say 00. I'm not sure exactly what they're supposed to be, but it's cool, and it's accurate to the film. Now, when you have all of the LEDs turned on, this beast comes to life. The glowing amber red headlights, they just set the scene beautifully. They're very ominous and they're very saturated. The front bar, very scuffed up, dirty and grimy. Now, later on down the line in production, they did decide to add just a little bit more surface detail to the clean version as well. I want to repeat that mine is the weathered one, so all of the brown dirt smeared across the side of the car and the speckling on the tires. That's specific to the weathered one, but all of the little chips and scratches and wind burn effects, that I'm pretty sure will be on the clean version as well. So don't worry, if you are getting the clean one, yours isn't going to be 100% completely devoid of detail. There still will be surface detail aplenty. You can rotate the rear wheels. The tires are very thick and they're made of rubber. They feel sturdy. I don't think they're going to crack and crease or deform under the weight of the vehicle. And when you rotate the wheel, there are no screws visible. The entire center part does cover up all of the connection points that would screw the wheel into the chassis or into the axle for the rotating function. You have dirt and grime down the side, and I love that they feathered it out. With the initial prototype, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super satisfied with the weathering, and I actually was gonna go with the clean one. But when I saw the final production shots and how they just speckled that dirt here and there, even on this vent on the side and the bar that Batman would use to climb into the vehicle, I fell in love with the weathering, and it turned out really, really good. The front wheels can rotate left and right. They are a little bit looser than the back ones, but that's because the camber is adjustable. If you want some very positive camber, you can do that. You can rotate the wheels out and make this thing look even meaner. I know we've already discussed the water vapor smoke engine function, but I just want to talk about it for 1 second more. It's so cool. This, in my opinion, is your differentiator, JazzInc. Going forward with your 89 Batmobile, with your Batman Forever Batmobile. This should be included with every single future Batmobile, or heck, any vehicle that has some kind of jet engine function. This, I don't think Hot Toys would ever do, so if you're looking for something that sets you apart from other companies making 1/6 scale vehicles, this is it right here. It looks epic, it's just a brilliant idea, it works in figure photography, even in videos it looks super cool, but being able to walk into the room, push one button on the remote and only having to use water, not some kind of specialized fluid, all of that stuff I love. This, a killer feature, at least in my opinion. If you don't want to use the water vapor function, just don't put any water in there, and then when you push number 3, only the LEDs will turn on. So it's not like you're married to having to use the water vapor, you can go without if you so choose. Now the engine, it's a V8, you can tell because you can see all 4 cylinder heads covered up at the back around the engine, which in and of itself is a sight to behold. The sheer part count alone back here is insane. All of these little individual pieces are individual pieces. They're hand painted, they're assembled into this massive engine block, and it looks like one cohesive thing. And it's accurate to the film. Got washers, this oil stain effect down in the crevices so it looks like a working piece of machinery as you'd expect it to. There are even some really teeny tiny little speckles of dirt and grime because as this thing is driving around getting filthy, you would totally expect a little bit of dirt to be back here as well. With the engine fully exposed like this, yeah, it would get pretty dirty and grimy. Even those pipes that come around the side and then meet in the middle with the jet/thruster turbine piece, they are quite filthy, so this does sell that weathered effect. Now, just before we wrap up, I did want to put my custom 1/6 scale Batman next to this Batmobile. At the time of filming this video, the Inart Batman and the Hot Toys Batman figures, they're not out yet, so this was my only option. I'm not mad at that because this looks absolutely incredible. This figure complements this vehicle perfectly. Or should it be vice versa? Either way, this is a perfect pairing. This is the money shot right here. I am so darn happy with how this Batmobile turned out. If you're sitting around waiting for Hot Toys or someone else to make one, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I do have to say a massive thank you to JazzInc for allowing me to review this early. I have popped the link to their website, both the clean and weathered versions, in the description below. I do also have to show some love to my boy Sofa Lamb. I've popped the link to his channel in the description below. Dude does some badass stuff. Seriously, go ahead and check him out. He came over and he helped me film this video. That intro, that was a labor of love. We put all our effort into it and it turned out way better than either of us were expecting. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.